I've been meaning to make this video for a while, so here it is. Um, Many people think that I started my YouTube account in April 2015 when the Boston Hoaxathon firecracker started, but it wasn't that. I started my first YouTube videos in late 2011. I think it was about September, October. It was all about chemtrails. All about chemtrails. I knew absolutely nothing about chemtrails, but my son mentioned it to me. I think it was about a year or so prior to this, and that's when I started taking notice of them. From what I remember going back over 5 years, I had no real thoughts of making videos, having a YouTube channel. But what happened, I think, was there was a guy called G. Edward Griffin, the guy that produced the documentary What in the World Are They Spraying? And I was subscribed to his website, channel, whatever. And he sent out a memo to everyone to go out and film these chemtrails for about a month and record them. And there was this tracking system which he pointed out that you could use on the internet called Flight Radar 24 or Plane Finder, where you can actually pinpoint any plane that's up in the sky. You could tell all the details you wanted about this plane, what airline they were, their rego number, their plane ID, what altitude they were flying, what speed. And so what happened, I'm not sure how I met the guy, the Damo63, who's got his own channel. He lives like 80 kilometres down the bay in a city called Geelong. And we worked together. We worked together and see what we could do about spotting who's spraying the shit over Melbourne. We noticed that there was this trail that was going past me and to Geelong and vice versa, back and forward, and it seemed like there was a plane going in a funny route, and it was flying out to the sea and coming back. Well, we caught it one day. What it was the QF63. It was leaving Sydney, flying down south, going over Melbourne and going out down to the ocean and on its way to Johannesburg, South Africa. But an hour later, its partner in crime, the QF64, was going the other way, and it was coming from Johannesburg, going down south, down the ocean, and going up. It just so happens to go over Geelong, where he lives, to the west of Melbourne, where I am, all the way to Sydney, and that was like an hour apart. So from that, we led to spotting all other planes that were flying over Melbourne, not just Melbourne, and other major cities in Australia, even down below in Tasmania. So we worked on this virtually every day. We got addicted to it. We couldn't wait to get up in the morning and check out what was going on. And we then worked out who was causing all this shit. And we made mention that the QF64, which is a Qantas flight, good old Qantas, Australia's flying kangaroo, was our biggest sprayer. And I actually called G. Edward Griffin to tell him of all the things I recorded. And he was flabbergasted that that it was actual commercial planes that were doing this, because he was under the impression it was just military planes, and there was no one in the world talking about commercial planes doing the spraying. So in effect, I'm not going to big note myself, but people have called me like the father of the chemtrail movement in Australia, and I was probably the first to expose major airlines, especially Qantas, of doing the spraying. So I got a reputation amongst the trolls, you can call it, who tried to protect the government from this nefarious crime that they're doing, and I was attacked like you cannot imagine. Yeah, sorry, I can't stop coughing. Obviously something to do with what they're spraying. Yeah, I had phone calls, I had threatening phone calls, death threats. Yes, Greg McKee, if you're watching this video, I've still got your voice message you left on my phone. The police will be notified if anything happens to me. So anyway, I was heavily attacked, and I'll point out a news article where I was attacked, but nothing was going to stop me in exposing this blatant attack on humanity. Like I said, heavily attacked in comments on my videos like you can't imagine. I was virtually the #1 boy in meta bunk, or as I call it, meta junk. That is the sickest of sick uh, sites on the internet. They are just a cultist group who just want to debunk everything. If it's night, they'll say it's day. If it's day, they'll say it's night. But I was on all their threads all the time. I was very much under attack by them. But the good thing about it, there was a lot of people that were starting up channels and making videos, capturing their own footage of the chemtrails. I'm not sure what's happened now, but it seems like it's died off a bit. But groups were formed. There was a group formed here at Melbourne against chemtrails, and other states as well in Australia, which they're continuing to do the great work. I must admit I've sort of dropped off in the last few years, but with the shit that's going on now, with what's happening with my problems with my breathing, my coughing, with this thunderstorm asthma we had a few months ago, I really have to post these videos that I've made. It's about 200 videos. I'm going to re-upload them all. They're going to be under a playlist, a Chemtrails playlist. They might be a bit monotonous, but like in all my videos, I talk in them. I try to add a bit of humour. I get back at these bastards that are spraying at us. It got to the stage, I'm going to point this out, where I organised a rally. When I say rally, I wanted sort of a gathering of people to be at Sydney Airport when the QM64 arrived, especially after it did a big spray over Melbourne. And I want these people to actually confront the crew, especially the captain at the airport. And stupid me, I put up a video, YouTube video, calling for a rally. And I thought I'd get a few people, a dozen people. It turned out only 2 people turned up. One was Robert Hoogie, my mate, older gentleman in Sydney, who you've probably seen on my podcast. And another guy was also Robert. He was a 26-year-old. He was crazy. When I say crazy, he was so into this chemtrail stuff. He was my little apprentice. He was fantastic, the work he was doing, walking outside, talking to people. He was just unbelievably so good. But I'll cut the story short. What happened when they arrived there at the what do you call it, the exit gate? There was 13 federal police there waiting. They'd been tipped off. There was only 2 Robs and 13 federal police. And the crew and the captain were led out through another door. They didn't come out the normal entrance. What happened, the federal police came up to young Robert and they took him away. And poor old Robert, he ran away. But it turned out they must have done something to young Robert, because from that day on, he virtually changed completely, to the point where he was attacking me. He was attacking anyone that made chemtrail videos, saying it's all bullshit. So they virtually got into his head. I later learned that it was someone from the MetaJunk website, an American called Jay Reynolds, who noticed my video calling for a rally. He contacted the federal police in ASIO and reported that this event was going to happen, so they took heed of it and had 13 police arrive. Anyway, what I'm going to get onto now is there's one person that has been, from that time on I started, viciously attacking me. He did it in a nice way, I got to admit. Unlike other trolls, he was very polite about it, but everywhere I made a comment, every video I made, he was there attacking me, to the point where he wanted to debate me on Madison Star Moon's one of her podcasts. And I'm just going to show you a clip of that first. But first I want to show you his channel. His name's Mike Glynn. He's supposed Qantas pilot that's been a pilot for over 30 years. He came under the name TW Cobra, but his name on YouTube now is Mike Glynn. And I'm just going to show you his channel right here. This is his channel here. He's got a few shit videos, but I want to point out, I'm going to play you this video here. There's the bozo here 5 years ago, and this will just describe what an absolute moron this guy is. So here is this guy with his selfie video.
My name is Captain Michael Glynn and I'm an airline pilot. My job is all about safety and getting people to their destination safely. Up to now I've flown nearly 2 million passengers. The responsibility really hits home when we see the passengers getting on board the aircraft and when they leave and you see their faces. I watch air crash investigation when I can, just simply to make sure that that I don't become a star in one of their future episodes.
So this buffoon was given the job by Qantas to be their #1 troll to stop people like me and others exposing major airlines spraying chemtrails. God knows how he had any time to fly planes around Australia or wherever around the world when he spent virtually 24/7 on YouTube videos, making comments on all my videos. Like I said, this guy was like a boil on my ass. He would not leave me alone. Just watching him there, he's definitely not an actor's arsehole. And whether he's a commercial pilot, who knows? But he'd have to be the dumbest fucking pilot I've ever seen or heard. So how did King Troll Mike Glynn and the rest of his trolls try to stop me from spreading the word, as I was getting pretty big on YouTube? Well, it just so happened November the 2nd, 2012, as you see here, which is just over a year after I started making these videos. If you type in jet pilots fear chemtrail, you'll get these things come down, and the first one is a major paper in Australia, The Australian, and the next one just so happens to be metabunk.org, where there's my name. A thread was put on me by them, but let's just click on what The Australian says about me. So I was pretty shocked that morning to find out that The Australian plus other newspapers all around the world had posted this article, Jet Pilots Fear Chemtrail Attacks. And there is an image of chemtrails, and there it goes. Here's the story. Airline pilots fear their jumbos could be shot down by conspiracy theorists who believe they are being poisoned by commercial aircraft. The conspiracy theorists are part of a global chemtrail movement that claims jets are spraying toxic chemicals over heavily populated towns and cities around the world. Threats to shoot down aircraft or harming pilots are becoming more prevalent, overt and alarming, says, guess who? Mike Glynn, a current airline captain and former vice president of the Australian International Pilots Association. I'm just going to mention that I've been getting comments all that time that I was going to be taken to court by the Australian International Pilots Association for defamation of character of pilots in my videos, but it never happened. They tried to scare me. But anyway, while most can be discounted as empty threats, there remains a possibility that some unhinged individual or group may act. It is beginning to cause consternation in pilot ranks. Sydney sider Robert Hugenberg and Melbourne actor Peter Kuznia are part of the movement, although both say they advocate peaceful protest, and there is no suggestion that they have made any threats or engaged in any violent conduct. Anyway, I'll attach this article. You can read it for yourself. My name is mentioned about 4 times in here. Well, the story goes, I spoke to Hoogie the day before this article came out, and he warned me that there was going to be a phone call from a journalist from the Australian, Peter, I can't remember what his name is. There it is, Peter Holmes, to be prepared, because he actually got a call. So I got a call the next day. I hung up straight away. A minute later, another call, different mobile number. I hung up straight away. A minute later, another phone call, another number. I answered it this time. I didn't want to talk to this guy. He asked me a few questions. I just ignored him, said I'm not interested. Then he came up with some bullshit that he put in this article, like they all do, the mainstream media, full of lies and garbage. So there they are. They were saying that I was going to shoot down commercial planes. Can you frickin' believe it? Here's a comment from Hoogie in regards what happened at the airport. There's the Australian Federal Police. This is Mr. Glenn, who describes some of the conspiracy theorists as having room temperature IQs. Room temperature IQs. So there's this article that was supposed to stop me from making my videos. I at first thought, I was in shock. It didn't stop me. But so now I'm going to go to The interview, supposed interview, I'm going to play clippets of this when this idiot Glenn, he was hounding Madison Star Moon to do a debate with me. And I said, yeah, I'll do a debate, but full well I wasn't going to do a debate. I just wanted the opportunity to tell him what I thought of him. It was just going to be a rant. There's no way known I'm going to debate this idiot. I'll link this video as well, the podcast that Madison Star Moon did. I'll just play a few clippets of it. I just gave him a piece of my mind. So this is what I told him in this supposed debate.
Hello and welcome to my show. My name is Madison Star Moon. Today is August 5th, 2013. Joining me tonight is Chemtrails activist and all-around great guy, Peekay22, Peter K. And also joining us is Australian pilot and Metapunk debunker, Michael Glenn. This is Michael and Peter's second appearance on the show, and I'd like to thank you both in advance for agreeing to this meeting. Before we begin, I would just like to say, to both guests that I would like to keep this broadcast as respectful as possible. Chemtrails are real and are a big threat to this planet right now. I'm deeply concerned for humanity, and I want to do anything that I can to help protect us from this crime against humanity. I believe, Peter, are you with me?
Yeah, hi Madison. Thanks for having me on again.
Hi, yeah, let me see if I can connect. Mike. Mike, are you with me?
Yeah, g'day Madison. How are you? Good evening and g'day.
Hi, how are you? Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, so put that in mind. All right, Peter, if you'd like to start off and follow your leads.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on again. Like I said, I'm not sure what you know about this guy, but I'll just tell you straight off who this guy is. He pretends to be a captain, whether he is or not, I'm not sure. I went into his YouTube channel. He doesn't have any videos of him getting off a plane, walking on with any crew members. There's only one little video that he's made where he's standing there looking like the most dopiest thing you've ever seen, making some sort of commercial, and he can, don't give up your day job, mate, because acting's not your forte. But whether he's a pilot or not, this guy is like a ball on your ass. He just won't go away. He's just a pain in the ass. He's been hunting me down. He thinks he's got me now. Well, I'm phoning you up, Mr. Glenn, whatever your freaking name is. You can debate whatever you want with me, and I'm just going to put you down, mate, because you, as far as I know, are a Qantas troll. And I'll say that again, you are a Qantas troll. You were out there working on Qantas's behalf to shut down people, to try to spread the word about the geoengineering and chemtrail attack on humanity, and that's all you are. And I'll state that categorically, you are a Qantas troll. Qantas will not come out and speak like any major airline. They will not come straight out and tell us they are doing this together with governments, obviously subsidised by governments, for this despicable act on humanity, I call it. And I'll ask you now, Mr. Glenn, if we are just chemtrail idiots, if we are just idiots that post, all I'm doing, I'm just a normal guy who has got children and a grandchild. I am just was posting videos of planes spewing out this garbage over us. If, like you say, that we have an IQ of a room temperature, I'll get onto that in a second, Madison. If you say that we chemtrail people have got an IQ of a room temperature, I hate to say what you've got, mate, but just let us be. Do you lose sleep over us posting videos of us spraying, of you, Qantas and major airlines spraying this over us? Do you lose sleep over us showing videos of that? If we were so stupid and pathetic, just let us be, mate. Just let us be and let the world laugh at us. So you and your debunking idiots from meta junk I call it, if that's the only thing you've got to do in your life is to debunk everything, not just chemtrails, you will debunk, if I said it was daytime now, which it is, you'd say it was friggin' nighttime, because that's what you you cultists in that friggin' meta junk site are all about. You are just sick. I wouldn't even call you people. And don't come up with this shit that you only went on there because you care about safety. And Madison, this guy, together with a friggin' idiot from some newspaper, made an attack on me. Get this. They put an article out in November last year titled "Jet Pilots Fear Chemtrail Attacks." And this creep had the nerve to say that I was condoning people on the internet to shoot down freaking commercial planes. Can you believe anything so stupid to come out of these people? This is all they could come up with. This idiot. Well, and he's going to say that it was his idea, but it was his idea. He has put my name 4 times on this article. I don't care. I laugh at it because it's that pathetic. Mate, my water pistol when I had it as a kid, that's the only freaking thing I've got to shoot anything in. It squirts water 3 feet. And if you think I'm going to shoot that freaking commercial plane, you idiot.
So that was just the start of the so-called debate. Hopefully you can listen to all of it. I'll put it in the main description. Yeah, I'll put this idiot in his place. He's just a buffoon who tried to attack me the whole time I was making videos. He's kind of been quiet since I've been out of action, but now that I'm going to put up all these videos again, so let's see if he comes back. Like I said, yeah, I'm going to start putting up these videos. They might get a bit monotonous, but like I said, I do talk in them. I'm a little bit different to others. I put a bit of humour, sarcasm, but the one thing I do is I tell them what I think about their fucking chemtrails. So that's what this video is about. Finally, I hopefully can put these videos up. I'll try to put up a few a day, and I'll try to concentrate on them. So don't come say, oh shit, what's this? All of a sudden, all you're doing is chemtrails. No, these need to be on the internet, on social media. We have to spread this nefarious activity by our governments far and wide, because it is an attack on humanity. I spend a lot of time making these videos, and I want them to be on the internet, on YouTube, for the whole world to see. So bear with me while I re-upload these videos. Thank you, everyone. Take care.